Hello and welcome to this episode of Paula's Run Club with me, Paula Radcliffe.
And me, Christopher Thompson.
And we are still here, camped out in Brendan's office at the Great North Run, or the Great Run offices, because of course we are doing a special recording prior to me heading out to Tokyo for the World Championships and prior to the Great North Run tomorrow. And what we do have coming up, of course, Bashier Abdi needs no introduction.
Yeah.
But for me, extremely memorable for sitting through an extremely nervous run at the Tokyo Olympics where he and at the time his training partner, Abdi Nagay, both coached by my husband, were kind of dueling it out. I was shut away in a wooden box, basically, in Salford that we were commentating from in the middle of the night, myself and Crammy in there, and then suddenly we get through the headphones and there was about 1 kilometre to go. Can Paula go to the studio? And they got a not very polite response back on talkback. Well, what do you mean I'm not going to see the finish of the race? Because to get to the studio in Salford, I basically had to go along a few corridors, up a few lifts and round some corners and get to the studio that we were using.
Yeah.
So it meant I couldn't see the crucial part of the race where
you've waited all that time. You want to see the crescendo,
I've
right?
watched the whole race. I've commentated on the whole race. I'm extremely emotionally invested in it because there's two people that I know, one that I know very, very well, kind of dueling out for 2 medals, and there were 3 of them in that battle. And it was stressful. So I had to run down the corridor. I get down. Sound guy was kind of fiddling around the back of my dress trying to sort out things there, and I'm trying to watch the race, and of course they came out with a silver and a bronze, so it was a good outcome. And at that point someone decided to say, oh, we forgot we had someone in Sapporo, so there isn't the stress. You've got 5 minutes before you go on.
People don't know what goes on behind the scenes to make these things happen, right?
Exactly. And then, so fast forward then, and he'll tell us about this in his own time. But in Paris, of course, I'm in the studio there and I send a quick text before the race. Everything all right? No, we missed the bus. So that one is coming up.
Yeah, because I hadn't heard about that. It's just incredible that the calmness to be able to like not panic and still become an Olympic medalist.
Yeah. It's like... And I think that is the underlining factor in I think what makes Bashier is he's very, very good on focusing and using his energy for what it needs to be used on, and not wasting it with all of the other stresses that can come around with events and do, although Gary might seem to attract a few more than other people.
Yeah. No, do you know what? He's just another great guest who really just articulates very well not just what running means to him, but how he performs so well, how he finds it within himself to kind of keep relaxed and enjoy it, but also be a vicious competitor who plans and again, I love when he talks about, he just loves winning for his country, and the passion of winning major medals versus just running fast times on the road at big city marathons. He's just it was just a joy to talk to. So and
very, very focused on it. So we talked to Bashier, but what about the Great North as well?
Yeah, we're still here. It's still our special. So yes, you've won it a couple of times.
I have won it a couple of times. I think I was trying to think then. So I'm trying to think how many times I've run it.
It wasn't that long ago.
No, my first one I think was, I was going through it last night trying to remember. My first one was actually 1999.
Right.
And I was pretty tired. I had won a silver medal
at the end or before you started?
I was tired before I even got
right, fair enough.
Because I'd not run a half marathon either at that point.
Yeah.
And it was my first ever one. I'd run the World Championships in Seville and I'd come out of it with a silver medal in the 10,000 metres. So I was kind of hanging on at the end of the season. And
what was the gap between the two?
I remember, oh gosh.
About 3 weeks, two, 3?
Not very long, yeah.
Okay.
It would be, maybe
3.
Maybe 3 weeks.
Okay.
There were still some more races then at the end of the season as well.
Yeah.
And track races, I mean. And then I came into here and I remember I was racing Tegla Laroupe and Joyce Chepchumba. And I was going around it's not the Hewitt roundabout, is it? It's the next one after the Hewitt roundabout on the course, coming up to 9 miles.
Oh crikey! I don't know the name of the roundabout.
So basically,
a lot of them have got really nice flowers on, but I don't know the name of the roundabout.
There's a lot of support all the way up.
I know 9 miles, Mark, anyway.
But I was coming around one of those roundabouts anyway, and there's a roundabout 9 miles into the race. And one of the marshals was clapping, and I was struggling to hang on. So I was a little bit of a gap between me and the two ahead of me. And as he was clapping, he turned around clapping, and he whacked me in the stomach.
Oh, really?
So that didn't really help. So that is one of my memories of the Great North Run. Being a little bit winded and trying to carry on. I don't think it impacted on the race because I was already kind of struggling to hold on to them. So I think I came third in that one.
Okay.
And then the next year was after Sydney Olympics. And of course I finished fourth there. It was different then because I was kind of finding the half marathon a little bit more. And I've got to get it the right way around. I came back from Sydney. We'd got married that year as well, so we went away on holiday for a little bit after the actual Olympic race, and we went and visited Hamilton Island, did some swimming on the Great Barrier Reef, and then carried on training through that. Came back and ran what was then a personal best for me. I think it did beat the British record, but it didn't fully count as a.
Well, it's a point to point. That's the issue, but it's still because it was 65.
Around 67:07. No, I think.
Oh, sorry, that one. Yeah, the second one was 65. That's right. Yeah.
And then I went into the World Half in Veracruz in Mexico, and I won the World Half off the back of. So I'd kind of grown more into the half marathon because that very first one, I do remember getting out to the finish and thinking, no way am I ever going to want to turn around and do double that distance in a race. No way, ever. And then I ended up absolutely falling in love with the marathon distance. And then I set the British record in, but it didn't count as it.
2003?
It was in 2003 here.
Yeah. But what's like for you with the Great North Run? What's your kind of favourite? What's your thing that makes this one of the best races in the world to run for you?
I think there are so many factors that come into it. I think it's a mass race in the UK, which already is big, and then you put it in the Northeast as well. And for me, this area gets running. And part of it is just the history. You've got icons like Bren, like Mike McLeod, like Crammy, of course, like David Sharp. They just keep churning them out. So there is a huge athletic rich history groundswell of support here, and they just understand running. I think that is evidenced by the thousands of people that come out and race it every year, but line the routes as well. And people do come out into their front gardens and stick their deck chairs down at the front and just stand there and clap and applaud all day. People have got their own little refreshment stations along the route. There is something just really unique and really special about it. And I think when you've grown up watching it from those early races, and I was coming up here to race in what was the Durham Cross Country before it became the Great North Cross Country, going back into the 80s. So it is a place that you just associate with running.
Because I saw something like the quote from this, the We Are GNR kind of tagline this year of 60,000 people running, but 200,000 people spectating on the course, lining the streets, cheering you on, which is incredible. And when I've spoken to a lot of local people, they take such pride in the event and being supporting and a family member running and making a massive, massive day of it. I mean, it's just carnage on South Shields. It's just packed to the point where I was down there this morning doing some stuff and I'm like, oh, there's the sea. Because there's so many people, you can't see it when you're running down that section. But my question would be, do you know the closest I got to winning GNR? Or the Great North Run? I've run other Great Run events, but do you know what the closest I came?
Position?
Well, it's kind of a trick question.
Yeah, okay.
It's a trick question. What's the closest I've come? It's a trick question. I held the finish line tape for the winner last year. That's the closest I've got, is holding the finish.
You're underselling yourself a little bit, I think.
Well, the thing is, like, I think what I like about GNR is that there's two things, and you touched upon it, that some people have a major championship on the track and it becomes almost like the swan song for athletes at the end of the year. They might be a bit tired and it is a half marathon, but others it's a prep for a marathon, and there's a lot of athletes each year that are using this as a springboard. But it can also be a race that you take your frustration out of your track season on, which is what I did quite a few times, and that's where I ran my PB. So I kind of came here a bit annoyed and peed off with what had gone on in the summer. It was 2012 Olympics and I'd been injured and it wasn't the year or summer I hoped it'd be. And I came here and it's what made that year, it gave, just made me feel better about everything. And I ran 61 flat, 0-0, even though the watch said, or the clock says 60, 50, or yes, 60, 59, but it has to be rounded up. Because once it's 0.5, you have to round it. But I was close. I could see the winners in the top three, but it meant a lot to me to kind of feel like I undid a little bit of the disaster. Whereas others that had run well, like yourself after Seville, yes, you were third, but I'm sure you were still happy with your year. So it kind of has a lot of meaning for a lot of different people, for elite athletes, and there's many stories within it as well.
And those, I think, are hugely emotional.
That's who we try and talk to, isn't it? Through this.
Yeah, and tell those stories. And there are, I don't know how many people there are that have run, we were trying to work this out, weren't we? That have run every single one. And it's perhaps a question that we should have put to Brendan.
Well, I met someone, I've met someone this weekend who has run every one.
Yeah.
And he's a postman, and he delivers bibs, the numbers for athletes running to everyone. I did ask, did he deliver his own bib, but no. But he's run every single one every year. Like you said, there's a few, but it's just nice that he's delivering everyone's numbers and bibs, and then he runs it, and it's it would be good to know how many. There's at least, I know 2 that I'm directly know of, but there'll be more, I'm sure.
Yeah, and so I think that they're pulling in and seeing people. I went down to the kids' races, and you see the young kids there, and a lot of them are already thinking, when I get bigger, when I get older, I want to run the full Great North Run. And it's really, really good to see.
What does it times? It's like the kids' races start, I want to say about 10 o'clock, and they won't stop. It won't stop till like all day. And someone told me a crazy number. It's over 20,000 kids.
There are certainly a lot of kids.
It's a lot.
I was with the younger kids in the mini. And so I think the first wave started at 8:30.
Was it 8:30 even?
I think 8:30, 8:45, and they'll keep going through until midday. And then they'll change the course a little bit longer, and they'll do the bigger kids through the afternoon and into the evening.
But it's so good, like, for them all. Because again, I met a family yesterday, and they brought their daughter. She was 11, 12, specifically to run it. Yeah. And the enjoyment they get out of it is just absolutely huge. It's just such a. Today is one of my, because they're going on in the background, we can sort of see them down there. It's one of my favourite parts of this weekend, is seeing the athletes of the future that are falling in love with running, and that's what this is all about.
Definitely. So before we get into the Bashier chat, I'll give him the full introduction. I just want to say that I really hope that everybody who did run the Great North Run had a good one, and a big thank you to everybody who's going to turn up for the shakeout, which is going to be this evening. So hopefully the first actual shakeout has gone well by the time this one drops. And now, without further ado, let's introduce Bashier Abdi, of course, the bronze medal in that Tokyo Sapporo Olympic Games marathon. Went one better with the Paris Olympic Games silver medal, so we're really keeping our fingers crossed for LA, and did of course pick up a bronze medal as well in the World Championships in Eugene in 2022. Bashier Abdi of Belgium. So for this episode of Paula's Run Club, we are still in this very special location. Some debate over whether it's Bren's office or whether it's been passed down to his son, Paul Foster. But you can see the backdrop behind and the amazing view of that iconic Tyne Bridge, where the runners will be streaming over tomorrow as we record this podcast. But you will have listened, and it will obviously be a week or so ago. Yeah, a week ago. Let me get this right.
In hindsight, yes.
It will be a week ago, and we are very honoured to be joined by Bashier Abdi, third in the Olympics in Tokyo, third in the World Championships in Eugene as well, and of course silver medal in those Paris Olympics last year, and all ready to race in your fourth or fifth Great North? Fifth Great North tomorrow, is it?
I think 50, yeah.
Yeah.
You know you've run a lot when you can't remember how many
I
you've
only
done.
counted the editions that I've been on the podium, so there are few.
How many have you been on the podium?
I think 3.
Yeah.
So there's only a few.
But we spoke yesterday.
That I include tomorrow, so.
Yeah.
You've gone third, second, and now we're looking for first, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, yes.
So how are you feeling going into it? Have you spoken to some of your competitors? You've been here for a couple of days. How's the prep going?
First of all, Paula and Chris, thanks for having me for this amazing podcast from athletes for athletes. I I think I'm okay. I've been training well in France with my coach Gary, and things been good. Beginning of the season was different, but now we had a good camp, so I'm excited for Sunday.
Because just talk us through it. It's been a little bit of a rocky road since those Olympics in Paris, where you ran so phenomenally well, despite the worries that you had beforehand with your knee to handle the hills in Paris. You came away with that medal, and then you had a freak accident really with your foot, and ended up with a very serious injury going into Christmas, and that's taken you time to come back from.
Yeah, indeed, 2024 was yeah, it was an amazing year, another medal, and I was very happy with that. But I closed 2024 with I fell down from stairs, and it was a stupid accident with big consequences. So I have to get as soon as possible surgery on my ankle, and
Oh wow.
and things take really time. I think by the time my rehab was finished was around January, begin January, and then I started jogging back again. But the thing was, I was running different than usually. So I started compensating the other side, and I got a stress fracture on my sacrum, and that took it another 2 months. So I think I start building up slowly towards this race May. So I think it's been very tough months, but I think I'm okay now, and I'm very happy with the training that we did in France.
Just quickly on that, because I think a lot of listeners could identify with the frustration of getting injured, and sometimes, you know, elite athletes like yourself, like people can be forgiven to think we're just inhuman when we deal with things and we just bounce and it's fine, but it's not. Emotionally, how have you handled that? You're Olympic medalist. You just run New York. I think you were 9th at the end of 24, and then you have this freak accident. How do you emotionally deal with that?
I think it's just accepting, you know, it's part of the game. It will be not challenging enough if everything just go the way you want it. So
That's one way of looking at it, yeah.
So sometimes things happen differently, and I believe sometimes even it's not. Yeah, it happened, but I think the most important is that you just have the right people around you, and make the right decision, and that you never forget your main goal. And if you have to skip a few races, that's not the main goal. The main goal is that you just come back healthy again and can do again what you love it, and that is running every day in the nature. It's so peaceful. So it's just never giving up, and just keep dreaming your the long-term goals. Yeah.
Does it make you appreciate things more when you are like here, healthy and fit?
Definitely. To know how good life is, you have to go away, and all you dream of, all you want is just to go back how it was. No, I miss running so hard, really. I was spending my time, most of time in the water, aqua training, or in the bike, and it's not the same as running. You don't have the same, it's not the same joy, it's not the same happiness. So it's so different. And I only had one wish, and that was to run without pain again. And yeah, you appreciate.
We've all been there.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's in a good position now to be excited to race first here at the Great North, and then you go into Chicago.
Yeah, the funny thing is I'm more nervous than before Olympics. So I don't know how to run again, you know, like whether I start fast or just to wait on it. I don't know. It's just like you know, you need the first races to get it in rhythm, and to test yourself, and it will be great to have run on 10K example before this, just to know where I am and what I can.
But you'll be fine once you get into it, and because you know the course as well. And so you can maybe give advice to people who are listening to the podcast who run the Great North Run and want some advice on how to handle the route, because the first few miles are downhill. So you can go quickly in the first few miles here. And then when you go out and you get on the long road out to the coast, then it starts with the gradual hills.
Yeah, it's tough, challenging course. And what I love about the Great Northern is the atmosphere. At the same time, it's for the organization, I think they always have a very good quality athletes, and at the same time, the quantity is also really big. I heard 60,000 people are participating Sunday. So, and the atmosphere is really incredible. So I think indeed it's very challenging. A lot of people are very excited at the beginning and they go hard. So make sure that you have something left. And don't be excited at the beginning. In the first 2 miles, I think is very fast, and then until mile 6, I think is hills. But I think it's friendly hills, so it's not that crazy big hills that we had like Olympic or
So speaking of the Olympics, I don't know if many of the listeners will know at home. I know you said for Belgian media what happened on the morning of the race. But can you tell us that? Because I think it's really testament to your mental strength, because it wasn't smooth sailing to the start, was it?
There was I'm intrigued. What did happen? I haven't heard this one.
Well, it was the highlight of all the news after the Olympic. What happened to us? So the day before the race, we had technical meeting with Coach Gary, with the Belgium staff, and we get the information of the bus when the bus is leaving from the village to the start line of the marathon course, and we decided to take the last bus, which was 5:30 a.m. and we, as usually, we went before we take the bus. We went to the restaurant to have a little light breakfast, and I think 5:20 a.m. we start walking to the bus station, and where the bus was supposed to leave, but we take the wrong exit from the village.
Oh,
to be honest with you,
I see where this is going.
So we were outside the village and we saw a lot of buses on the line, but these buses was for the athlete. It was the Olympic. Our race was the last days of the Olympic, and there was also a lot of athletes leaving to the airport. So this bus that we thought was the bus to the start line was going to the airport. So we asked the organization the bus for the marathon, and they say, "Oh, you have to be the other side of the village." So they say, "Yo, you can just walk outside the village, and then you come to the other gate." And we were until there we were okay. We were not nervous, we were not panic. And then we just started walking a little faster. We come to the place that we're supposed to be. And as soon as we arrived, the bus door closed. And Coach Gary was like, "Oh, open up." And they were like, "No, once the door closed, we cannot open it again. We follow a protocol here. And that's the protocol of the Olympic." And then we were like, I was like, wow. And then the stress started. And I thought, a scenario like this, they will have some solution. They will have some VIP shuttle only for you. I was not worried at all. And then we went to the organization. They were like, "No, if you miss the bus, that is the only option to get to the starting line."
Wow.
And then we didn't know what to do. It was early, 5:30 in the morning. The metro was not working well, the tube. And the second option was to take Uber. So we decided to take Uber, but of course all the courses were also closed for the marathon, so you can't just easily get where we have to be. And I told to the Uber driver, just even if you can bring us 2K from the start line, we gonna run or gonna walk. And he saw we were stressed, so he opened two navigation systems at the same time, and he brought us 800 meters to the.
So big shout out to that Uber driver.
I mean, I wonder if he knows he helped a medalist that day.
I don't know.
Well, it might be. You should look on your whoever's app it was. I wonder if you can reconnect with him and just be like, "I got a medal."
We did it after the Olympic.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did it after Olympic just to find out, but it was some short name, so we had nothing with it. So we tried to find that it's not possible to find.
If you're an Uber driver in Paris, thank you so much.
Really.
If the company Uber's listening, like, get in your account, or was it yours or Gary's account?
I think it was Gary's account. Yeah.
But it was worse than that, wasn't it? Because the first one, they had 2 cancel on them.
Oh, wow.
And then there was a guy waiting there who should have been picking someone else up who didn't turn up, so who took them. So they had to kind of plead and wait.
Indeed. It was not even our.
In that moment then, so I mean, it's a funny story and it's had a happy ending, but in that moment, are you almost allowing Gary to take the stress for you? Like, where are you mentally putting your brain when you're about to do something as big as the Olympics? How do you...
First of all, you don't let Gary take the stress.
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking in terms of the person you're with, but you know, how did you box that? Or did you feel really stressed?
No, I felt, of course, but all of us we felt very stressed. Of course, you work 4 years to get to that position, to the Olympic, you know. And but once we were in that taxi, the only thing we were thinking was we have enough time. Yeah. Even if we get close 2K from the start line, we can walk. And of course, we didn't even know they will allow us to walk, you know. Yeah. There was all kind of rules that the police was following. So we were stressed, but at the same time, it's what it is, you know. You just try to make best of it. You can't... It's what it is, so you can't...
But that's the difference, I think. That is the champion mentality right there.
Yeah.
It's the stress is what it is, and you can't control it. It happens.
You can't control it.
So you have to just deal with it, and that's what Bashir is very, very good at.
It might happen for a reason. I remember as soon as we arrived the tent of Team Belgium, they were more stressed than us. And
I'm not surprised. A potential medalist for them. And they're like, where are you?
As soon as we arrived, I remember going just on the side of the tent with myself, and I was thinking like, okay, before I take the Uber, I had the feeling I eat too much breakfast. My stomach was a little, you know, heavy.
Many marathons.
Yeah, so... And by the time we arrived, I had the feeling like all that stress actually did something.
Yeah, shifted it
to
a little
get my food quicker than... Actually, it was not that bad. I accepted that something happened. But somehow I tried to switch to something positive.
Yeah.
That's very strong. And what was it like winning an Olympic medal?
It was, especially the Paris one. It was not home, but it was a race that feels like home. 2 hours from where I live. And the day of the marathon, there was like 10 big buses leaving from my city to the marathon course. Wow. 1,000 people, just friends, family, neighbors, just showing up to the course was something incredible. And I think and also what makes this medal so special was also the way I started my season. I started my season with a lot of excitement, and I went to Ethiopia with the coach Gary to run Tokyo Marathon, which was begin March, and I was training a little too hard, to be honest, and then I got stress fracture, and I ended up not running anything beginning of the year. The 10K in Manchester was my first race and the last race before Olympic, to use like a competition rhythm. And just coming Paris, I only had one goal, and that was running as smart as possible. And the course was very challenging, but just finishing again with the medal was something incredible. Yeah, something that I will forever will remember. Yeah,
because the Olympics before that, of course, when you got the bronze medal, and Abdi Nagay, your training partner at the time, got the silver medal, and you two worked together, that also you had problems coming into it, right? Because you struggled with the jet lag.
Yeah, indeed. Tokyo was another story. 2021, we've been 10 days before the race to Tokyo, to Japan, to the whole camp, and I ended up not sleeping enough, combination of expectation, little media pressure, I think, at that time. So I just ended up not getting used to time. And so running a marathon was already hard enough. And then if your body's not fresh, it will be just more harder. And I don't know how I managed it, but somehow I stayed it up until 35K, and last 5K I was getting a lot of support from my training partner at that time, Abdi Nagay, good friend of mine, who also ran amazing at that time. And that was the first medal. But in Tokyo, I think in Paris was different feeling.
Yeah.
I was the one who was controlling the race at the end, Tola was gone. I know it. The gold was gone, but we were like 5 guys for the 2 left medals. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to take them to the finish line to risk that. And at the end of the race, I was in charge and controlling because Benson, who was number 3, I know if he take the lead, I know he will get wings and get more motivation. So I was like, no, I will never give him that feeling. I just stay on the front. And also Gary said to me, don't make the same mistake as Chicago you made the year before. Benson was just behind me, and then 3-4 Ks to go, he take the lead, and then he started pushing, and I ended up number 3. He was second. So I know his tactic already. So I studied well, and finishing second was amazing. Yeah.
See, is it because we spoke to Mo and he talks all about you were about to say it. Yeah. We're getting into because he talked a lot about understanding his competitors and how that empowered him to make the right decision in a race. And I wanted to draw upon that and go back to what you're like this weekend, and you're building that racing confidence again. So understanding athletes, but there's also the confidence in yourself, how to race. And so how important, as you get ready for Chicago or races like this weekend, and you said you wish you had a 10K, but just to get back in the rhythm of racing and executing a plan against other competitors.
I think Mo was the master of that, understanding the mind
on the track.
Yeah, on
I
the
think
track.
in the marathon, maybe you
No, on the track, really. I believe that the Kenyans, Ethiopians, they were always even better shape. But he always played with their mind, and he always had a mind changer tactic. So I think it's important, and that is what makes a big difference sometimes. Just understanding, and of course, the tactic can always change, but sometimes you play or you lose. But it's important to understand also the tactic of the others. Yeah.
How do you assess the other athletes this weekend? How do you think it's the strengths of Matiso, Abel, and the other guys? What are you preparing your mind for from them?
I think I'm happy with the training I did. I hope that they are both stronger. If we look what they run this year, one have 57 on the half. The other one run similar course as the Great North Run in New York this year, 59.06, Kipchimbo. So both are strong. So I hope that we just run as fast as possible, and and at the end, if they are better than me, they are better. That's the good thing about running, you know. If someone is better, it's better. You cannot. You don't need referee or far for that. If someone is half percent better than you, you will see that on the result.
I experienced that a lot in my career. So I know what you mean.
But this race, really, for you, it's a stepping stone.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So you will race here. You'll use it to gather information, how fit you are, things you need to work on, and then you have what, a month until 5 weeks until Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you'll go back to the Pyrenees.
Yes.
Yeah, and you'll keep your training going and work on those things that you pick up from here.
Yeah,
but you will be, of course, keeping an eye on what's happening in Tokyo. And when this episode with you drops, the World Championship race will have just finished on the men's marathon side in the World Championships themselves. The women go on the Sunday and the men go on the Monday. We can't let you go without giving us a prediction. We won't throw the women's at you. Maybe you? Or do you have a shout for the women's race?
Women's, I think, Tigist will be, exceptional.
Tigist is safer.
If we look at her time, championship performance, I think she have the most chance to win the World Championship by the women's side,
Yeah, because she is, of course, racing Paris.
Yeah, I was going to ask you a question on this. So, because at the moment they're looking like it's going to feel like 45 degrees, like it's going to be crazy hot and humid. And one of the things I don't know if you noticed this with Safer, she didn't drink loads during London, and I'm just wondering, because obviously when it gets that hot, drinking is going to be important, and whether Perez might have the edge purely because she's a bit more experienced on taking on fuel and liquids, or do you think that that's not really going to be a factor? It's going to come down to the raw strength of a Safer over Perez, or do you think there might be a bit of fueling difference between the two?
I think if she ran London without drinking, it will be just.
I think it was minimal. I just didn't see her drink a huge amount.
But
She
it was
ran
still
past-
warm in London.
True, it was. It was just the fact it felt like she skipped a lot of.
Yeah.
I think that gives her just more advantage because if she then can drink, will be okay. But I think the only thing I'm a little worried about her is like she trained in Ethiopia and it's a raining season there now. It's cold.
Right. Okay.
And the temperature can be the really game changer. But are they smart enough to do adaptations, heating rooms, example, saunas, small things like that? Or just running afternoon, example, with a big raining jacket in treadmill in the gym. That can. So if she prepared well on the heat, I don't see any problem. And drinking, then I think if she can run a marathon without drinking, by the time it's hot and she can drink a little, it just give her more advantage, I guess.
And for the men's side?
For men's side, it's to be honest, it's a very open world championship for the men's side. Of course, we have a few athletes that I hope that they will do well. As my training partner Sultan Hassan is a great place. Emil from GB team, I think if he have the same shape as Paris 2024, he can be also in a good position. But I think it will be again a battle between a few Kenyans and a few Ethiopians. The thing is that all the big names are on Berlin or Chicago or New York, but I see some of the athletes, like the guy who was number 5 at the Olympic, he's in New York and also at the World Championship. So I don't know how good he will be.
Because, and I was just going to say, because it is in Japan.
Yeah.
And you've raced in Japan a lot. Your sponsor is a Japanese sponsor.
Yeah.
So you understand that the running culture in Japan is all about the marathon. And it's one of the first, I think for a while, world championships to finish in the stadium. They start in the stadium, they run out, they finish in the morning session. So I think the women's marathon finishes and maybe an hour and a half later, we have the heats of the 1500 meters men's. And so it's a full morning and it's fully sold out already. That's going to be a factor, isn't it? Do you think maybe the Japanese will be especially ready for the conditions and ready to perform a little bit on the marathon distances?
To start with it, I think indeed marathon is holy in Japan. Really, if you run in Tokyo Marathon or another marathon, you just see how many Japanese athletes are running so fast. I remember 2022 running Tokyo Marathon, finishing second, and I was on the finish line, and the guy who was from number 3 until number 11 were Japanese athletes, and they were all running sub 208, 206, 205. That was really crazy to see that. So, and I think, Japan, it's in Japan. I would love to do the World Championship. I love Japan. It's one of the countries that I think I can live the rest of my life because people are so disciplined. They never complain. They are so respectful, and I think Japanese athlete will be ready. We had a few athletes who were running also in Paris well, and I think really if they are used to running the heats, and if they prepare in Tokyo, they will have that advantage, I think, and we might have some surprise.
Did you have someone training with you in the Pyrenees? In Fondremo, there was some Japanese athletes.
We had a few university athletes who come over, and they surprised me. So they still at the university, and one of them was running 60 flat for the half, and they arrived, and the day after they did big workout with us. So it was like, if I come to altitude areas, even as professional athlete, I need a few days to get used to everything. The altitude. They just crack it on. And, so they say they never complain and they're so disciplined,
It's funny because have you seen those pictures online where they, the Football World Cup, they leave their dressing room immaculately clean.
And they clean.
They clean. It's like everything's immaculate, like so respectful of wherever they are and the cultures that they go into. They're fantastic people. But I wanted to ask the subtle differences of trying to win a major championships compared to a big city. just the skill different, the kind of things that how you kind of set that in your mind, the difference between like winning a London or a Berlin,
Or do you set a difference?
or do you, or trying to win Olympics? Like where's your head for the difference of that?
I think there's nothing to compare with winning medals for your country. That's the best thing. Representing your country is the highest stage. Is
But in terms of physically, like in terms of the challenge of it, like is it a bit more of a racing thing compared to like a time trial? Do you get in terms of the preparation of it?
Yeah, of course. One is for the medals and one is for the time. And the training wise is almost same, but of course it's different. You know, one is raced at based at the time, and you have pacemakers that base. You just try to hang it on as fast as long as possible. But when it's I'm more a championship runner, so I like tactical races that you don't have pacemakers. That you just go on it, and it's man against man or women against women, and that is what I love it, and that is it's for everyone equal, and it's nice. Of course, if New York example, my next marathon Chicago, if someone asks world record base, I know I can't go with that. It's so simple as it. I know I'm not like a level to say I will go something faster than my personal record on the half marathon. It's not realistic as well. It's not logic. So I am more a championship runner.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And favorite? Can you pick a favorite marathon?
Oh, that is exactly the question I had in my head.
We've
like,
been in it together.
I know. We started. Yeah.
That's
I know it's
down to one. But
because results-wise, Paris, but you didn't like the Paris course.
I think championship courses are always special.
Yeah.
They always choose challenging courses, but I love London. London courses. I think London Marathon is amazing. What I never will forget is I did twice a London Marathon, and once I fly from Ethiopia, and as soon as we landed, the plane doors goes open, and someone of London Marathon was just like between the gate and the flight. I was like, how do you get in here? I mean, and then they were like, oh, so they take care of the athlete differently way. They were like, yeah, you just take the shuttle. We will pick your bag and bring you to the hotel. I was like, how do you even know how my bag look like? So it's just different. London is nice. And also I love Rotterdam.
Yeah.
I run my European record.
I was going to say your national record.
I won most.
It's almost at home.
Almost at home. It's 1 hour from home, and also I really love Rotterdam. It's also a flat course.
Yeah.
The only thing that can be improved by Rotterdam is they start late. So if they want to compete with the marathons in the world to run fast, they have to start early. They really start late for TV, and that's the only thing that can be improved.
So I think because I think we're getting close and need to wrap out. I was going to ask you, I wasn't going to ask you a tip. I was thinking, what could we close on as a nice thing? And I think, to anyone listening and yourself, what is your single biggest motivation to run?
I think just love what you do. I love running. The day that I don't run, I feel I don't deserve my meal. So
you can eat. It's all right. You can.
I really when I had the injury, it was like, why? It's even worth it to eat. I mean, when you're training, it's different. You know you're gonna burn it, and it's so lovely. And running is so so simple, but at the same time so meaningful. It's something that you cannot learn in university by books. It's just wherever I go now in the world, wherever really, it doesn't matter if I go America, China, I have friends, communities that I count, that I can just text and say, hey, can we run tomorrow together? It's simple, but at the same time, it's the best sport that you have in the world.
You're a legend.
I know, absolutely. And your kids, they run little bits with you. They're young yet, right?
Yeah, the two olds, they train twice a week in a local club. So who knows, my son will smash all my records later. Just like Raf is doing.
Well, you're helping Raf do it, aren't you? You're helping Raf.
Yeah, Raf was training with us in France.
Yeah.
I see he make the right decision. Yeah, it's also nice that the parents don't push, to choose. Yeah. First he loved football, and now he like running more. So it's lovely to see that. Yeah.
It's brilliant. Thank
Legend.
you so very much. Good luck tomorrow and lots of good luck in Chicago as well. We will all be watching you there.
You're a superb. You're a legend, mate. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
A big thank you to Bashier Abdi for that. I mean, I think really, really insightful. I love his enthusiasm, and he's so humble and down to earth, yet so meticulous in the way that he does prepare, particularly for those world champs. So it'll be interesting to see how they pan out, his predictions.
Yes, it will be. I mean, it's always difficult asking someone beforehand and then the result comes out, but yeah, he gets it, he understands it, and he's passionate, and it's just all that's what we're here to try and get these insights out from people though. But yeah, very good. It was awesome
to see him, and I think he's a brilliant role model to have for Raf as someone to look up to, because he sees how hard you have to work, and I think it came across as well, didn't it, in that chat, how hard a decision it was for him not to do these World Championships, because he is very much a championship racer, but I think timing wise he just felt like he needed a little bit longer to be ready this year.
No, exactly. And I think, and again, it's part of, he takes pride in his performance. You know, yes, there's a learning, and he needs to get out and get his racing brain going, but he also clearly likes to be ready to give a good account of himself. He doesn't want to just turn up and just go through the motions. He actually wants to kind of, you know, he's an two-time Olympic medalist, and he takes pride in that. And that's, but yeah, very infectious. It makes you want to go out for a run, which is what I love about all our guests. They all make you want to do that. Stress
really well as well. So don't forget, if you do have anything like that, a funny story where you missed the bus or for some reason were under a huge amount of stress trying to get to the start line, obviously probably not to the Olympic Games, but I wonder if you managed to stay as cool as Bashier did in those circumstances. Don't forget to let us know. The WhatsApp number, and you can leave us a voice message, maybe even a video message. We might be able to try those out as well. So you can try that on, number is +44 7564 747 914. Email, of course, is paulasrunclub@momentumbroadcast.co.uk, and all across socials @Paula's Run Club. We would love to hear from you with any of those questions for the shakeout as well. One more thing as well, please don't forget that special offer from NordVPN is still running. So you can get your 4 months extra free, and all of the deals that come with that. Go to nordvpn.com/Paula's Run Club. Nearly forgot that then, but it did come back.
Well done. You immaculate housekeeping.
I am using that. I'm really liking it. You can log on and watch things and wherever you are.
Have you watched Destination X?
Haven't got to that yet. No.
Okay.
No.
Well, you know you can.
NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
I've got one confession over missing. It's not quite missing what Bashier said about missing the bus, but there was an incident on the way up here, which my wife with the kids dropped me off at the train station, and she parked close enough so she could see me get on the train and then wave me off. And obviously you do the last minute and wave to the kids out the window, see you daddy, see you in a couple of days. Train sets off. I get about 10-15 seconds into it, and I get a phone call from her, and I was like, I've left something in the car. Right, yes, Gemma, what have I forgotten? It's not what you've forgotten, Gemma, it's what you've taken. It's not what you've sorry, yeah, I'm doing her, but it's not what you've forgotten, Chris, it's what you've taken with you.
You had to take my child, did you?
No, I'd taken the car key.
Oh no.
It's like I rummaged through my pocket, what, this car key? I don't understand this, but I said, so what's going on? She goes, well, the car's moving, but it just keeps bleeping at me. And we live a mile from the train station, and she had no pushchair for George and Theo. And I was like, okay. And I just said, stay on the line.
Stay parallel to the train.
Yeah, exactly. Get to the next station. But she somehow got home. We had a spare key at home, but yeah, it was a bit of a heart in my mouth moment of, I'm going to have to get back and what's going to happen. And so
there you go.
Luckily they got
you can go a mile. I've only ever parked it when the key's gone back in the house. I have managed to park the car in the surroundings if someone gets out with it.
Okay, right, yeah. But I don't know how these things work, because if I'd have turned the engine off, it might not have...
It wouldn't have started it.
It probably wouldn't... Yeah. Well, it wouldn't... I'd like to think it wouldn't start, otherwise that defeats the object of having a key. You can just start a car. Oh, no, I like that car, I'll go. Anyway, but yeah, I won't say the brand in case I get into trouble with a car. or the number plate.
But they've safely made it home, so that is the
Yes.
main thing.
Yes, they got home all right. Yes, and there was no racing involved, but it was a bit of an incident for me. But we're all right.
Okay, and I'm looking forward to obviously getting home by this point. I'll be in the middle of the Tokyo World Championships.
As this goes out, you'll be there, won't you?
Yes, yeah. So when this episode is going out,
How's it going?
everybody, you'll hopefully be also able to tune into BBC for the athletics highlights. We will kind of be a long time ahead, 8 hours ahead, 9 hours ahead.
Might need the Nord thing for some people if they're
I
ever
will
tuning
be,
in.
yes.
There you go.
I would be using it, don't worry, to stay up to date with everything from there, and also hopefully dropping in some updates to everybody at the Run Club from those World Championships.
Well, this has been a fun GNR weekend. Even though this is going out now, we've got the weekend to look forward to. You're commentating, I'm running it. I need to go and get a massage now and get ready for it. But yeah.
Just a quick note on that. So I came back into the hotel last night and I did say, has anybody seen Thommo? And they said, Thommo still thinks he's an elite athlete. He's been in the restaurant with the elite athletes. He's now getting a massage.
Look, you
We need a quick update
imagine
to
what
this.
you are and be it, right? It's like, still think like an elite
You
and
can't
act
ever
like
take
one.
the athlete out someone, can you?
No, yeah, what is that saying? You can't take the athlete outside, but you can bring him in. What is that saying?
I think it's you can't take the Geordie out of Newcastle. Or you can take the Geordie out of Newcastle, but you can never take the Geordie out of someone.
Oh, is that the saying?
No, I just made that up.
I don't know, like, you don't retire because you're always a runner.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
To everybody, hope that the Great North Run weekend did go very well for everybody, and any other races that are coming up, including, of course, everybody going out to Berlin to run in the Berlin Marathon this coming weekend. Wishing you lots of luck. I think you are going to be part of a very special race there as well. So please do not forget to let us know on that WhatsApp number once again, +44 7564 747 914, how you get on. Shout outs for the honours board, and of course questions to the listener interaction. That email address again is paulasrunclub@momentumbroadcast.co.uk. This has been a Momentum Broadcast production. Thank you very much for listening, and look forward to seeing you next week.
See you later.